Hi, welcome to Losing Faith, Finding Spirit. We are still continuing the conversation about relationship red flags. So, things to look out for in relationships that kind of give you a hint that the person you are involved in may not be so great for you. They may have some toxic issues, some emotional abuse, and other such things. So, today's red flag that I want to talk about is mirroring. Mirroring. This is an interesting one. It's very hard to identify in the very beginning stages of relationship, and this is when mirroring occurs. And it is particularly common for narcissists. Mirroring is when somebody basically mirrors back to you things about you. So they're not showing their real self, they're just kind of parroting back or reflecting back your likes, your dislikes, your values, things that are important to you. And what this comes off as in a relationship is you meet somebody new, you're talking, you're hanging out, you're getting to know each other, and that's when this kind of happens in the getting to know each other stage. And suddenly it's like you both love the same show. You're both huge fans of that show, you're both huge fans of that band, you're both huge fans, and you have so many things in common. You have so many things in common, and it's just amazing. It's like you've met your soulmate. Like, you can't believe how much you have in common with this person, and especially things like values. And sometimes it's real easy for people to mirror you because we like to share. And if you're open and you start sharing, you'll find the person will be like, oh, me too, that happened. Something like that happened to me too. And you feel really strongly connected to this person. It feels a lot like intimacy. It feels like empathy, like they understand you like nobody else. The problem is that this isn't their true experiences. This is just them pretending. And I've done it, you know what I mean? Like, some people with complex trauma, we tend to do this as well. And mirroring can be well placed because it helps you get to know somebody faster. It helps you get somebody to open up easier and faster. The more agreeable you are with someone, the more likely they are to open up and start being more vulnerable with you. And we all tend to do it at times. And when it's small, like, oh, your friend's really excited about this thing, you feel excited for them. That's empathy. You're excited because you care about your friend. It's, their excitement and their joy is important to you. It's like when your friend is crying and upset and you feel the pain with them. You feel upset for them on their behalf, or it hurts to see them hurt. That's empathy. That's not mirroring. Mirroring is when somebody basically acts like you, takes on similar behaviors, values, mannerisms, and you think you know this person, but then as time goes on, you really don't know them at all. And that's what this kind of shows up. And the problem is it's hard to identify mirroring in the early stages because, like I said, you're just getting to know each other. So I guess the biggest thing you can do is to just take a lot longer to get to know somebody and really see if the person says that's their favorite food, do they actually order it? Do they order it when they're with other people? Get to know their friends, get to know their family, get to know people who know them outside of you. Do they still act this way around those people? Like, do they seem to be more vulgar around their friends than when they are with you? That's a sign. That's something to be mindful of. We talked about that before, about somebody who puts on masks and who changes personalities and is a chameleon. That's all stuff that you need to be aware of, because that's not somebody being honest with you. And a lot of times, unfortunately for narcissists and emotionally abusive people and toxic people, they can't be honest because they're not honest with themselves. It starts in their heart. It starts in their own psyche. They have trauma and other issues internally that they can't deal with. They don't know how to deal with. And so this is their best way to do it, is to be what everybody else wants them to be, because the most important thing for them is to be a good person. In my experience, the people in my life who have been toxic have a whole lot of self-defense and coping mechanisms that keep them from being, quote, a bad person, unquote, which means they can't be responsible for their own behaviors when they make mistakes or poor choices. And that's not healthy. You don't need somebody like that. That's an emotional immaturity. It means they're never going to change because they don't feel like it's their fault. So why should they change? They'll never own up to their own problems and issues. They won't work on themselves. They just deflect and blame other people because they can't. They can't take on the blame themselves. They can't process those feelings. They can't process that responsibility. So it's easier for them to push it onto everybody else. But then that makes us victims, and it hurts. It hurts us because nothing changes, and genuinely they're behaving abusively. So that's a red flag. Just pay attention when somebody seems a little too good to be true, a little too close, a little too alike. Pay attention to that and just be mindful of it, and look at it alongside the other things that they do, and if there's other red flags, because you never know, you might meet somebody who genuinely likes a lot of the things that you like. Those people do exist, but you got to look for that genuineness. Are they being genuine, or are they just putting on an act? And the more time you spend, the slower you take things, the more you see them interacting with other people, the more you're going to see the truth. The truth will make itself known. It could take a lot longer in some cases. So I wish you well, and I hope this helps. Until next time, bye.